Mutants, the scum of society. Or at least that's what people around me always said. If you want to know one thing about other people, it's that they label you even before you have the chance to tell them who you really are. Now, before I became a mutant, I was already a freak. Everyone at school bullied me. For what? I don't know. Exist, I guess. Every day at school was the same, until I saw my true power. One day at school at lunch, I slammed my knife through the plate, table, and right into the ground. Of course, I was sitting alone, so no one really noticed. But I saw it, and I couldn't believe it. After school, I went home, and I went through the whole place, trying to test out what I saw. Knives, shears, butter knives, anything I could get my hands on. And I let one kid have it. We got off the bus and I started walking my usual way, but I knew he was gonna block my path. Sure enough, he gets right in front of me. Tall kid, towering over me, asking me what I'm gonna do. So I show him. I pull out the butter knife. Starts laughing his ass off at first. He just keeps laughing, and the laughing just keeps getting louder and louder, until finally it just ends with the knife slicing through railroad tracks right near us, split it clean in two. Staring at that sight, I no longer saw his eyes. I saw my eyes. I started coming towards him, but I didn't like how those eyes looked, because they were now mine. I dropped the butter knife and I ran. My next step was to find Professor X, but sadly at that time, mutants were in for a rude awakening. Like a lot of mutants, when Thanos fell, I thought that was gonna be a new beginning for us, but President Nathan Essex only made it worse. By banning the rights for all mutants, suddenly it wasn't even safe for us to be on the street anymore. So that was my life for a while. I was hiding in cars, reduced to just being a shadow on the streets, because I didn't even have a home to go to. But there was one man who showed up one night, and for the first time in my life, he gave me hope and purpose, and that was Bishop. The two of us became a team, fighting to destroy the anti-mutant armies. We were driven by our own individual passions, but together, we worked better than anyone. Bishop listened. He talked when he needed to, so you knew you had to listen when he spoke. He was always looking out for me, and me the same with him. The night I met Bishop, he told me all about the Sentinels, how they had taken over. No one knew where they came from. All anyone knew that if you were a mutant and they saw you, you were dead. At first it was Wolverine, then Magneto, and the list just went on and on. It seemed that our fight against Nathan Essex was over before it even began. But how? But then Bishop showed me what he had discovered. It was a cube that could enhance the power of the Sentinels. This power could change them from mindless robots to something even worse, to conscious mutant hunters. When you look into those red eyes, you see the end. Our mission was simple. Find the date that these events occurred and get the Tesseract before Nathan and the Sentinels could get their hands on it. I'm not coming back from this mission. I know it. I don't even think Bishop will make it back, to be honest. But he's the only one that's been right about everything so far. This is not only the end of me, but the end of the mutants. But my purpose is to give one last fight.